Hello, welcome to HITC Sport and bullies. You would think Arasaka would know better than this. I mean, he looks like someone who definitely spent his first year of secondary school having his face flushed down a toilet bowl so often that even now, as a nearly 50-year-old man, could probably describe in great detail the flavors of excrement as if they were bastard ice cream. He's a man who, if he wasn't a footballer, would definitely have spent his teenage years stuffed in a locker. First of all, on his birthdays, he'd probably get a wedgie off his own mum. I'm guessing at the age of 9, he probably had his Pokemon cards shoved in his eye. And yet, does he show mercy on Monday night? Nah, he might as well have yanked on his pants and defecated all over the San Marino flag.
Arasaka will treat San Marino with the same respect as any other nation.
Oh yes, because having a 10-0 scoreline stuffed on their country's footballing CV, oh, that's really the true mark of respect, right? I'm sorry, Gareth, but treating San Marino like any other nation, how much further can you bury your head in the sand? This is a country who haven't won a game of football since 2004. You know, when you were lifting the League Cup at Middlesbrough. Even that was just a friendly win over Liechtenstein. Treat them like any other nation. Oh, okay then. So if Usain Bolt was about to compete in a race against someone's granny in a wheelchair, you really think he'd still run like a man possessed? San Marino versus England. These San Marino players might as well have been a bunch of autograph hunters camping outside St. George's Park. How is this fixture even allowed to take place? What is the point? All of you who tune into this game, it's just chewing gum for the eyes. Sport is all about competition, about not knowing who's going to win. I'm sorry, this is like watching a boxing match featuring Canelo Alvarez versus one of the aunts of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I mean, I'm pretty sure after that, they'd probably spend the next 6 weeks of menopause puking up blood in their bowls of mashed potato. San Marino versus England, what is the point? Christ, well, the guy tasked with marking Jude Bellingham, you know, one of the brightest teenage midfielders on the planet, he was Lorenzo Lunadei, some 24-year-old who works at a car dealership. I mean, sure, he might be able to fix the exhaust pipe in a Mercedes, but I'm sorry, go to any home England match in Wembley, and I'm sure you would find at least 12,000 people sitting in the crowd who'd get in this San Marino team. Seriously, you could fit the entire population of this country into Craven Cottage. I mean, what does that tell you? Honestly, if every San Marinese bought tickets to an Ed Sheeran concert, they would literally empty the country. It would just be a barren wasteland filled with sheep. What is this team? Christ, well, I'm pretty sure the left back probably sells pineapple on the beach. I mean, their only full-time footballer on the pitch was Nicolo Nani, stuffed up front, and even then he's playing in Serie C. That is the country's superstar. Italian third tier. Christ, well, that fella probably gathers his teammates around a campfire and regales them with stories of what it's like to be a professional footballer. I'm sorry, if you're not good enough to get paid to play the sport, then you shouldn't be sharing a pitch with Harry Kane. It's the equivalent of letting a toddler operate a lawnmower. That's how you get 10 fingers littered in your grass. I mean, the rest of these players, you can be damn sure they probably bring a packed lunch to training, that they have to book time off work to play in these sort of games. Right now, their centre back is probably now scrubbing toilets in his local pizzeria. I'm sorry, how do you expect a San Marinese wingback to keep up with Ben Chilwell when he works an office job down the local accountant's? I'm sorry, but after 7 hours of sitting in front of a computer, stuffing his face with hula hoops and trying to avoid contact with the boss, I mean, clearly, he's then going to have the stamina of Matt LeBlanc. Christ, well, half these players probably developed a stitch just looking at the goddamn ball. Southgate, don't you tell me you were showing respect for playing a weakened team. You call that a weakened team? Because right, this starting 11 over the course of their careers cost a combined £190 million in transfer fees. And it would be more, much more, only 6 of the players are still at their boyhood clubs. Harry Kane scored 4 goals in one half.
Oh, well done!
It moves him level with Gary Lineker on 48 goals, but I'm sorry, these goals shouldn't count towards any record. No, it'd be like if Floyd Mayweather goes out now and beats up some homeless fella behind the bins outside the local Asda and proudly tells the world his record now stands at 51-0. Really? Really? When the other guy eats dead rats for breakfast? Do you really think you should count that one? The other guy's lost 6 toes to frostbite and is partially blind in one eye.
Back to back, what a way to seal our World Cup spot and finish the campaign on a high.
He's actually keeping the match ball, and he's got everyone to sign it. No, I'm sorry, Harry, do yourself a favor. Puncture the thing with a fork and stick it in the bin, because it's not really going to take pride of place on your mantelpiece. Something you won for scoring 4 goals against the goalie, who probably ate 2 hamburgers at half time. Here we've got the entire England squad grinning ear to ear, even taking time to crouch in the middle of the aisle. No, I'm sorry, you're leaving on a fancy jet, having taken a giant dump over the dignity of a bunch of part-time surgeons and milkmen. At least Jude Bellingham's got the right idea, and not even a flicker of a smile, because he knows this is about as exciting an achievement as flossing your granny's toenails.
Well played, Skipper.
well played, skipper. I mean, this is clearly an attempt at begging for a high-profile interview. Because I'm sorry, well played. Well played shouldn't come into this. Piers, you yourself look like a squashed Tony Soprano with the pace of Fred Flintstone, and yet even you, Piers, would have probably grabbed the goal in this match. Harry Maguire's returning to Old Trafford thinking he's the man. A goal-scoring machine at international level, right? I'm sorry, goals against Albania and San Marino. It's like bragging about winning an arm wrestle against a 4-year-old girl.
Love that, boys.
So, Marcus Rashford is a man who advocates for the welfare of struggling, hungry young children, and yet happily gets a kick out of watching a bunch of middle-aged plumbers and mechanics get embarrassed on worldwide TV. How do you think the San Marino players felt after this game? I mean, I'm sure it was an honor to represent their country on the world stage, but still, is this really a match to remember? Are they gonna want to stick this one up on the fridge? It was a match where their net bulged 12 goddamn times. 2 of the goals were ruled out just because the ref was feeling nice. Listen, Emile Smith-Rowe scored his first England goal, and Conor Gallagher made his debut. Big moments in their lives, but I cannot but feel that they don't really count. This match wasn't international football. It wasn't. Connor, you could go down any random park in London on a Sunday morning, ask to join in, and the opposition you're playing against would roughly be the same standard as this. You're playing against a team who would probably lose 4-0 to #United. Smith-Rowe, you finish off a nice team move for the goal, yes. And I hate to be the football Grinch, but again, should it even really count as an international goal? Scoring for your country should be a momentous achievement. Something you've worked towards for years through pure hard graft. And yes, you've been brilliant for Arsenal. Yes, you deserve to play for England. But fulfilling a childhood dream like this? Playing on a bog and drilling the ball past someone who's probably got a mini pack of Jaffa cake stuffed in his socks? It's like losing your virginity to postman Pat. Just no! Aaron Ramsdale made his debut in nets for England. I'm sure he touched the ball, what, twice? I'm sure it was a proud moment for the man. But again, the guy could honestly have spent the game just texting his friends in the crowd. He could have been stood in the concourse during the match, queuing 20 minutes for a pint, and he still would have kept his clean sheet. Ozzy, being named England goalkeeper is an honour. You've been picked out of every other person in the country as being the most trustworthy, safest pair of hands. It is an honour, but here, he was doing a job that a bin bag could have done. Was it really necessary to win this match 10-0? Unleashing a world-class goal machine on this pudding level of defence? It just seemed like overkill. Lads, you could have picked an England 11 from the championship, and they'd have won this match by 4 goals, with Dominic Solanke probably bagging a hat-trick. Even Ryan Brewster would score against this team. Not even that, you could have limited this team to just 11 players picked from the Scottish leagues. Again, James Tavernier would have taken on the role of creative right back. Whilst nearly 40-year-old pensioner Jermaine Defoe, I'm convinced he'd have added to his 20 England goals. Ozzy, this man probably has thigh muscles stiffer than Hugh Hefner's private parts, and still would have put this utterly ham-sandwiched defence to the sword. So really, winning 10-0? What does this prove to anyone? Anyway, finally, before I go, 6 months ago, Ireland lost at home to Luxembourg, and it was arguably my most embarrassing night watching international football. Actually, watching any football. It was a bit like seeing the Irish flag used to scrape the fish-smelling vomit off the streets of Dublin. In that moment, to me, Stephen Kenny was almost committing national treason by contributing towards his footballing filth. But 6 months later, we're in such a better place. Last week, we scraped a goalless draw with Portugal, where we could have even won the match. Not to mention, we were 2 minutes away from beating Portugal 2 months ago, and now we just travelled to Luxembourg with Gerson Rodriguez again putting out flip-flops and back heels as if he was Ronaldinho himself. Clearly that winning goal in Dublin went to the man's head. This is a guy who's on the books of Dynamo Kiev, and so probably thinks he's this country's superstar. But a bit weird how Sebastian Thill, you know, a midfielder who's actually scored the winning goal against Real Madrid this season, why was he only given 4 minutes on the pitch? But listen, I just want to take a minute and praise the Irish team and Stephen Kenny for turning this around. 6 months ago, we were a flat pancake of a football team, and I'd all but given up on us ever reaching another World Cup. But no, now we've gone from a prehistoric long ball Stoke to an exciting ball playing team who play on the front foot. Jason Knight, he's a man drowning in a financial pit of despair at Derby County. We're in November and he's currently stuck on -3 points in the championship. Somebody please rescue him, get him a Premier League move, because this man just entered the pitch to chalk up 3 assists. He's our modern day Stephen Ireland. Callum Robinson, he was just some Sheffield United and West Brom winger who only ever used to score against Chelsea. Other than that, had the end product of a couch. But in an Irish shirt, he's emerged into a lethal number 9. I just thought I was going to have to rely on the likes of Troy Parrott and Aaron Conley up front. No, turns out that Robinson is our modern day Robbie Keane. And it's quite fitting that he's named after our former Irish president. But finally, the last piece of praise is reserved for Chidozie Ogbeni, a 24-year-old Nigerian winger who moved to Ireland in 2005, who went on to play for Cork and Limerick. This guy is currently playing for Rotherham, but no. No. Get this man a move to the Premier League. He is incredible. Christ, well, thank Christ this man's dad rejected a job offer in Florida to come and live in Cork instead, because honestly, this boy, he's going to be the Irish Raheem Sterling. He is the most excited I've been about an Irish footballer since Damien Duff. Watch this space. In 2 years' time, this man is going to be ripping it up a match of the day. This guy is a boyhood Liverpool fan. Why not Jurgen Klopp? Why not take a look? Come on. Someone give on Benny his big move. Honestly, watch him play. He is sensational. The future of Irish football is bright. Bring on Euro 2024 in Germany. I cannot wait. Anyway, that's it, fellas. Let me know what do you think, alright? Let me know in the comments section if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you in a while.